I always believed that the truth knows how to wait. It doesn't rush, but eventually it finds a way to break the surface. That Tuesday, and nothing good ever happens on a Tuesday. I was lying on our big bed when I heard the shower turn on. Again. The second time that day. For Marissa, that was unusual. She treated hygiene, practically. One shower was normal. Two were a red flag. I was about to roll over when I noticed her purse on the chair by the vanity. It looked like someone had tried to empty it in a single violent motion. Lipstick, receipts, hair ties, and a mess of little odds and ends were scattered across the floor. I usually avoided digging through a woman's purse. Too personal, almost taboo. But the chaos irritated me, and Marissa had a habit of stress cleaning after midnight when work drained her. I decided to be the considerate husband and put everything back. So there I was, sorting through the chaos, putting things in order, when my fingers brushed something unfamiliar, a cool metallic cylinder. I pulled it out and immediately knew it wasn't lip gloss. A narrow silver tube, minimalist, expensive looking, covered in Japanese characters. Definitely not something she would pick up casually. At first, I thought it might be medical. Maybe she had some issue she didn't want to discuss. Marissa hated talking about anything that made her feel exposed. But then, why foreign? And why so carefully hidden? Curiosity won. I scanned the text with my phone, waited for the translation, and felt something cold settle in my stomach. Premium Men's Intimate Gel, long-lasting formula. Men's, not unisex, not women's. Men's. And the tube was half empty. We had never used anything like that. And when we did buy lube, it was the cheap, clear kind from the nearest drugstore. This one looked like something sold in a boutique by appointment only. While I was processing that, my eyes drifted to her tablet on the desk. The screen was still lit. I noticed a folder labeled Groceries, which was suspicious enough. Marissa never used grocery apps. This was the woman who would drive to 3 different stores just to find the right pasta sauce. Inside the folder was just one app. An unfamiliar chat. My finger hovered over it like I was pulling a trigger. I opened it. At the top was a thread with someone named Leo. The profile picture was just a silhouette, but the text was painfully clear. Can't wait to see you Thursday. Got us the usual room. Bring that silver thing. You know how much I love it. I'll do things to you your husband never could. I scrolled up, and the screen turned into a long history of deceit. Dates matched her late nights, girls' evenings, and I'm too tired tonight. Photos, hotel details, mentions of that same silver tube. In the bathroom, Marissa was humming something lighthearted, completely unaware that her secret life had just collapsed into my hands. Minutes later, I was in the kitchen holding a bottle of industrial superglue I'd bought a month earlier for a broken cabinet hinge. The idea arrived cold and clear and scarily logical. When she stepped out of the shower wrapped in that soft towel, I had already completed my little project. "You look tired," she said sweetly, handing me a tall glass of milk. "Drink. You have an early meeting." She smiled so warmly, so sincerely. I would have believed her if I didn't know the truth. I pretended to drink and lay down, letting my breathing grow heavy. After about an hour, her breaths shifted. Calm, controlled, waiting for the medicine to work. Soon she slipped out of bed, dressed, and left the apartment. I gave her 20 seconds, then followed. In the dim hallway, I saw her kissing a tall, athletic man by the elevator. No need for introductions. That was Leo. They went up to the 4th floor. I followed at a distance. Apartment 4C, directly above our own bedroom. Irony worthy of a bad sitcom. Behind the door came laughter, whispers, the sound of anticipation. Then, a sharp cry. "What the? Leo, we're stuck. We're glued together." Panic, water, soap, oil, nothing helped. Eventually, "We need an ambulance." "Yes, we're, stuck together. When Marissa returned home the next morning, she looked like she'd been dragged through a fire. I was on the couch, casually browsing the news. "Rough night?" I asked. She gave me a shaky nod and launched into a messy story about a client emergency, late work, and a fall down the stairs. Then someone knocked. Leo, pants barely buttoned, face crumpled like a used napkin. "We need to talk about last night," he muttered. "Of course," I said cheerfully. "Come in." They stood there, trying desperately to speak in code, terrified of exposing themselves. They couldn't even sit down. I stayed polite, kind, attentive. But another plan was already forming. Later that evening, when Marissa complained about soreness and asked for something soothing, I quietly replaced her medicinal cream with capsaicin ointment, the same ingredient they use in pepper spray. Harmless in a tube, pure agony on tender skin. The next morning, her scream nearly shook the walls. At the hospital, doctors diagnosed a chemical burn and ordered surgery. The damage was severe, the consequences permanent. While surgeons worked, so did I. By the time Marissa woke up, a folder of documents was waiting on her tray. "Divorce," I said calmly. "You get nothing. The house, accounts, cars, custody, all mine." She tried to tear the papers, shout, deny, until I laid out everything, the messages, the tube, the secret app, the lies. Then she laughed, a broken, manic laugh. "You think Leo was the first?" she said. "I had an entire group. You have no idea how deep it went." But I did. Her tablet revealed a network of married clients, corporate funds, illegal services, encrypted channels. A week later, federal agents were involved. The video of their unusual emergency went viral. Leo's career collapsed. Marissa's social life evaporated. Friends avoided her. Even grocery store clerks glared. 3 weeks later, Leo returned demanding money. When the argument escalated and he shoved Marissa down the stairs, the officers I'd pre-alerted had finally seen enough. Both were arrested. I got custody, the house, and a quiet I hadn't heard in years. Sometimes truth isn't blind. Sometimes it just needs a little push. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts.